Hi, I'm Jonathan Edwards, Communications Manager with Nash County, and in this episode, we'll take a look at the relationship that Nash County has with the United Way. We'll practice for an emergency with our first responders, and we'll turn strawberries into jam. You're watching Nash County Now.
We're at the Nash County Administrative Building for a United Way vendor fair. It's an opportunity for the various agencies that the United Way supports to come in and present information about their agency and the various things that they support. Employees are invited to come up and browse and have a conversation with the various agency representatives.
United Way is an organization that works to bring the community together by mobilizing resources and people. We help identify the needs in the community and then ensure we have funds that can address those needs in the community. We fund 36 local health and human service programs in partnership with 24 local nonprofit agencies. We've been working with the county government for many years. Of course, we had the Monster Dash several years back, and that was wonderful. The employee giving campaign is very important to United Way because those donations help folks right here in our community. We're here during campaign period. We're also here during other times of the year. One thing specifically is that we have helped with disaster recovery, especially after Matthew. We've worked with the emergency management and our county manager, Z Lamb, to ensure that if people needed help after Matthew or if we had been impacted by Florence, we would be right here as well. We also have a fund set up during Matthew and during Florence if people wanted to give directly to that. So we're here as a partner and also as an entity that can help support our local citizens.
Our campaign this year is focusing more on participation rather than the amount of dollars that are being given. And so I think that's sort of gotten people more involved this year. Learning more about the organizations that their money is going toward, I think, will be a great plus.
It's important because people like to give, but they like to be able to see their donation at work. And when you come here, you get to meet a number of the agencies. You might meet Meals on Wheels, Boys and Girls Club, American Red Cross, Downey's Partnership for Children. The list goes on. So when you make that donation, you can say, that's part of how my donation is being used. Because your donation goes across all those quality of life issues. And so you can really see how you as an individual make that difference. You can call our office, 937-2213. Speak to myself or anyone that answers. We love to have more people obviously give, and if you want to volunteer, we always need volunteers. The power of volunteering is really important as well.
When we return, our first responders train for a real-life nightmare.
Home fire drills give your family a plan of action. Show everyone 2 ways out of the house, pick a safe meeting spot, and get there in under 2 minutes. Then practice, so everyone knows exactly what to do. Go to ready.gov/fire drill and learn how to prepare your family.
What to expect when you're expecting.
Like here?
A teenager.
Today, I'm going to show you how to team-proof your home. First step, hide the car keys. Preferably somewhere they would never look. Challenges will come up. Be ready for them. Hi, honey.
Ready for the... Mom, you don't use mannequins in the mannequin challenge.
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Oh, look, a redhead. Staring contest. You still got it. I know.
Come alive with the forest.
The dad was cute.
You were looking right at us. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Normally what we do is we do training just within the agency, but this time we're actually involving a lot of different agencies, up to 15 different ones, in case there's a situation that requires a massive amount of individuals to respond. And This particular one, it's set at Nash Central High School, and we have a lot of avenues and roads that go through here. So primarily, Rocky Mountain Highway Patrol, Nash County Sheriff's Office will be responding. But in this particular one, we also have Spring Hope and Edgecombe and a couple of other different agencies, so they can get exposure to this type of training. And the objective is to come out and try to identify a shooter in this scenario, or shooters, and for them to go through an actual real scenario based on all the recent shootings that we've seen in the media where different agencies are responding. The good thing about this is that we're evaluating our responses to the situation, things that we've done well and things that we need to improve a little bit on. So in case a situation like that actually does happen, we can learn from those lessons that we are learning here in training. And that the saying goes, you respond as you train. So we just want to make sure that we are able to respond appropriately and communicate with individuals, because it also involves fire and EMS, because they're the ones that are going to have to treat individuals that are injured.
Law enforcement set up a scenario where there's going to be victims in certain areas. So the objective is for the teams to come in like they're trained to, recognize the victims, assess their injuries, triage them for the most part, and then have a plan to remove them out, get them to treatment centers, hospitals, wherever they need to go. Of course, we already train on how to treat the injuries, but there's a lot of procedure that's involved on how we enter the building with the law enforcement, things that we're supposed to watch for, and things that we do when we're in here. These are high stressful situations, so having practice and doing run-throughs like this allows us to be prepared when it actually happens.
So the Nash Rocky Mount Public School System, a lot of their administrators were here on the other end, so they can see firsthand the response of how to initiate an active shooter call, how to communicate, what's actually going on, how the students respond, how to do the lockdown, how the officers come. Because normally we do these throughout the year, and it's usually one agency that does it. They do a quick lockdown just to see how their preparedness is. But this is an evaluation on law enforcement and medical personnel and fire, how we respond. And hopefully we'll get good feedback on things that we need to improve on and things that we did really good. Primarily communication. Communication is key here.
It was awesome. I think it was a great experience for me as an administrator, also for our students and the staff members that were able to participate in this scenario. I think that anytime that we have the opportunity to practice a drill or a scenario such as this, it only prepares us and makes us better, because we have the opportunity to find out where our areas of weakness or the gaps are or flaws in our program. So I think that anytime we have the opportunity to do it is great for us. Also working with law enforcement and all the other agencies doing this scenario, it's just a win-win.
We primarily use juniors and seniors because of the maturity level, understanding that this is something that would benefit them, but also encourages them to help with the freshmen and the sophomores so they can help them through a situation like this. Great response with students participating with mock injuries, allow the EMS individuals to get firsthand first aid treatment, emergency treatment on hand. That allowed us to show how we move patients from the scene to actually outside, and how we triage them, and then how we do student and staff movement away from the area.
It's the first time on the scale as far as an active shooter scenario training where it's full out. We do this all the time with mass casualty incidences, a bus crash or a plane crash, things like that on that scale, but there's not usually the threat of injury to your responders like there is with this. So that's why it's necessary to practice the right procedures and be completely in line with law enforcement so that they're doing the right things and they protect us and that kind of thing.
And hopefully the training will help us in the long run, but we pray that nothing like this ever happens. But in an event that it does, we will be ready to respond.
This is an emergency situation.
When we come back, we'll turn strawberries into jam with Cooperative Extension.
Hi! You think you're probably sober?
Yeah.
But you're thinking about taking the back roads home, just in case. Why would you do that?
Probably okay isn't okay. Call a cab, a car, or a friend.
Good choice.
Hey, let's check out this park. Oh, wow, that's really cool. To find a great local park or forest near you, go to discovertheforest.org.
So what we're going to do is we're going to walk through exactly how to make strawberry jam.
We are at the Nash County Cooperative Extension Office, and we are doing a workshop here on canning strawberry jam. First, they have to pick the proper berries. They don't want them overly ripened because if they're too ripe, it will mess up the setting process. And then they got to wash and rinse their berries. They cut the green tops off. Then they're going to finely chop the berries up, so they want to crush the berries one layer at a time. Then they're going to add some sugar, lemon juice, and pectin, and we boil it on the stove, and we'll ladle it into jars, and we process it for 10 minutes, and they're good to go.
Do not sterilize your beans. You don't want to put them in hot water.
Canning seems to be a dying art at one time, and now it's coming back. People are going back to where they're wanting to visit the farmers markets more, and they're wanting to do their own home preservation of products. They're just wanting to get back to the old way of doing things. And the Cooperative Extension is an educational and safe way because we make sure we teach all research-based recipes. So the recipe we're using today is a research-based recipe. It's important because we want to make sure that we're cooking to the proper temperatures, and that way we can eliminate foodborne illnesses.
That jar is going to get hot. You can set it down.
They enjoy the classes. A lot of times it becomes a social event. They really enjoy being together. The one main thing that they take away is they take it back and they teach younger people or other people in the community. They can contact anyone here at the Extension Office. I'm Regina Mosley, the Family and Consumer Science Agent.
Well, that does it for this episode of Nash County Now. We'll leave you with scenes from the United Way Cookout, where Nash County treated all its employees who gave back to the community.